Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation powered by the Emerging India Forum TIFF and our technology partner Prime Infotech Solution. Today's series is the Emerging Entrepreneur and theme is 5 compelling reasons why you need fractional ownership investment navigating wealth insights with the expert. I am Jolly Singh, your host at Coffee and associate with Prime Infotech Solution. Today we have with us Gowrishankar Iyer, founder of Wealth Quotient, a trailblazer in the realm of wealth management and consultancy. With a wealth of experience spanning over years, Gowrishankar stands as the pioneering transformative strategies in advisory. Join us as we embark on an enlightening conversation with Gauri Shankar, where he shares profound insights, invaluable expertise, and actionable advice to unlock the path to financial success. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, Jolly. Thanks for your kind words as well.
Definitely, sir. So, guys, get ready to delve into the world of wealth with a visionary leader at the helm. Brace yourselves for an enlightening discourse of personal and professional rounds, culminating in the much anticipated rapid fire round. So, sir, like what we do here in the coffee conversation is that we have 3 rounds. The first is the professional round, the second is the personal questions round, and we try to wrap up the entire conversation with a fun rapid fire round to lighten the entire discussion because we will be like discussing a lot of visionary topics and I am sure we are going to be enlightened very much with the theme that we are going to discuss today. So let's get started with the very first round, which is the professional questions round. And my very first question to you would be, sir, that what inspired you to start your journey into wealth advisory and management?
That's an interesting question to begin with, I would say. Jolly, if you see, India is a population of 142 crore, right, today as we stand. But the statistics with regards to investment and wealth management is somewhat very, very surprising. As on today, if we speak, there are only 12 crore demat accounts out of 142 crore population. And if we see the SIP book also, it's hardly 19,000 odd crores. And if we see the active investors in SIP mutual fund also, it's roughly around 8.2 crore. So if I just convert that into a monthly SIP, which is hardly around 2,500 rupees per individual, that's for a 142 crore population, the number seems to be very, very less. And we have a very, very long journey to go. And this is where I felt a financial advisor has a very, very important role to play, especially considering that India is a very young population. It's a very aspiring country as well. So that's the reason I started my journey into wealth management and advisory services, because we see that there is a huge potential now. Right? And especially, I'm very optimistic for the way India is for the next 20 years or so. So this is where, each and every individual should take his investments very, very seriously. If not, at least they have to start with their journey. And I feel very fortunate to be a part of this industry.
Also, sir, you have your own venture, Wealth Quotient. So, would you like to share about it? How did you start your own venture? How did Wealth Quotient came into existence? And also, how has the journey been till date?
So as of now, if you see, I have an overall industry experience of 25 years now, out of which the first 18 years I was into pure banking and financial services, a corporate employee. Last 7 years, I ventured on my own. Roughly around 2018 is when I started feeling that, okay, no, it's the right time for me to venture into the advisory role. And that is where my journey started. So since the last 7 years, obviously, I saw something which is, very unusual. 2018 I started, and in 2020 we saw something like a COVID. So it's been a kind of journey, I would say, for any new businessman when he starts into a new role and something like COVID and everything happens. So it makes the journey all the more interesting. And especially COVID has brought a lot of lessons to the business people as well as to the investors. So I would rather say that we are in a post-COVID era where things are definitely going to take a very, very different shape. So the journey is certainly very, very interesting, and I'm enjoying each and every part of the journey. So
So we are in this session sitting and discussing about the wealth and financial management and everything. So, what is the most important aspect in financial planning according to you? And also, if you have to prioritize security and investment, which comes first?
obviously it's the security which is going to take a center stage if we have to prioritize. Nothing could be compromised when it comes to security. So first, any investor, he has to be secure, and only then he has to start with chasing the returns. But most importantly, it's a focus, and at any point in time, they have to keep balancing between security and between returns. That is the most important. So it's going to be an ongoing balance. I wouldn't say that it's always security first and it's the returns later. It's going to be a game of balancing every time. That is where the challenge when it comes to investments is.
Financial industry also sir, is very dynamic. What strategies do you exactly employ to stay updated with the latest trends and development in the financial industry? Now that it is growing at such a rapid speed, so how do you stay updated?
Okay. Being a part of knowledge industry, obviously for me, it is very important for me to be always updated with the recent trends. I'm very positive when it comes to AI being a part of the finance. Fintech has a very, very major role to play because a lot of things which, when it comes to research, which used to take a long time earlier, thanks to AI, it's all available in the click of button. So I depend on a lot of research and research using technology. And that is what helps me with regards to my knowledge, with regards to me being updated with the recent trends. And obviously, I'm able to take all these tools to my client as a value add.
It is also said, sir, that investing is a sport, especially to chess and football. So, if you would like to elaborate further on it, I'm very sure our audience is going to be very much excited to hear about it.
Yeah, generally, a lot of people blink their eyes when I make this statement. For me, investing is just like any other sport, whether it is a chess or a football or a kabaddi, for example. Okay. When you take investing as something else, it becomes very boring. But when you relate it to a sport, okay, it becomes all the more easy. So I always relate it to any form of sport. Investing can be mixed with any kind of sport. Okay. So it is all about managing your risk and how you have structured in your investments. If your investments are not well positioned and not well balanced to take the risk, any kind of return will not be able to match it. So I think sports is one thing which always teaches you uh, how to balance yourself with regards to investment. Now, if you take kabaddi for example, okay, many times who knows kabaddi well, an opportunity presents itself as a trap, or a trap also presents itself as an opportunity. So this is where we are able to draw a lot of assumptions and relationships with investing and sports. If you take even football as an example, you never know like when your defense is going to get weak or when our forward is going to be very strong. So it is always balancing about yourself. If you see midfield position in football, depending on where exactly they are required to, sometimes they are into defense and sometimes they are into forward. That is where like the game is always balanced. So even if cricket, if you see, okay, you can't always step out of the crease, and the crease is your line of safety. So accordingly, we will have to keep that balance, whether it is safety or do I go for it. Okay. That is again depending on investor to investor. The people who understand this game, I would say that they have come full circle when it comes to investments.
Definitely, sir. And the balance, maintaining the balance is the most important thing. Uh, can you explain the concept of fractional investment?
I'm very positive about this sector. Firstly, the fractional investments, it's not something widely known to many people. So just to give you a very gist of what a fractional investment is, this is applicable only for a commercial property investment. As of now, let's take an example. If someone has to buy an A-grade property in BKC, plush area, they have to invest in an entire floor. The investment minimum required is anywhere between 25 to 50 crores. Now, this kind of an investment is generally not reachable by a very normal or a retail investor. It requires a lot of homework to do that. What a fractional investment does is it pools around 100 to 100 investors and they collectively join this property. At the same time, they don't carry a risk of owning it single handedly. So it's just like a mutual fund. What a mutual fund does to their equities, the same thing fractional investment does to a commercial property investment. So if I have to take an example, a 50 crore asset, it has to be owned. Okay, and the minimum ticket size is 25 lakh, which means roughly around 20 people, 200 people will collectively come and own that particular asset. Right? So if you say 25 lakhs, you get an investment portion in a grade A BKC building, which is roughly around one third of your 1 BHK property in Mumbai. That is one. Secondly, a fractional investment is managed by an asset management company. Here, the tenant is ready. Okay. The tenant, we have a pre-leased agreement with this tenant. So whoever invests, they get the rental income right from the next month. Okay. They don't have to go hunting for who the tenant is. Especially when it comes to such big projects, finding a tenant is not an easy job. Okay. Here, the tenant finding is again taken care by an asset management company. So you have invested, you get ready rental income, and after 5 years, you have a choice whether you want to exit the property or not. Again, when you say exiting a 25 to 50 crore property is not something very easy. So here again, an asset management company has identified a property consultant like a JLL or a CBRE or a Knight Frank who does a property valuation. They arrive at a property and they give you a chance whether you want to exit or you want to stay invested. If you say you want to exit, you sell your shares at a market rate, and that's it. It's as easy as that. So here, if I have to summarize, you earn around 15 to 16% on a fixed income, which is generally not so easy on a fixed income side. The 15 to 16% on a fixed income is something I always suggest as an alternative investment asset class to be liquid. Now, if I say where fractional investment is headed, around $50 billion is what JLL and Propshare feels the market is going to be headed by around 2030. And so, again, as of now, the market is at a very nascent stage, but we see a huge potential in 9 key metros. And there's an asset class which I see every investor should look into who is looking at investing in a commercial property. Over to you, John.
Okay, sir. Great. So I got too much investment listening to your answer because you have like shared so much, just like to a very small question. I had an additional question for the same fractional investment, but you have very surprisingly included the answer of the next question in the first question that you were answering. And I would be jumping ahead to that question because that question has already been answered. What are the specific growth projections for the micro market where the office space is situated, considering factors such as infrastructure improvements and the influx of the tech talent?
Again, that's a very tricky question, I would say. Micro market is completely changing and it has changed a lot in the last 10 years. If you see Mumbai, just taking it as an example, okay, only a pocket of Mumbai was known for a commercial or maybe for a residential. If I stick to a commercial pocket, the first thing that comes to mind is BKC or an Andheri, okay, or maybe South Mumbai. This is where your commercial pockets used to be. But thanks to the growing infrastructure, which is completely changing the game, thanks to metro especially, all these commercial pockets, I see that it's going to be completely spread out rather than being concentrated in just one specific area going forward, right? And that's the reason you will see that suddenly there is a lot of influx with regards to commercial properties also coming up alongside residential. You know, this is where I see there is a lot of opportunity when it comes to investments. It's not only going to be equities, but there are a lot of asset classes which is going to be made available and which is going to be made easy for a lot of investors. So if you have, just to put it some in a nutshell, infrastructure is going to be a key game changer for everything, whether it's going to be residential or it's going to be for commercial.
What is that 1 point checklist according to you, sir, and the risk mitigation frameworks that you follow?
It's going to be asset allocation.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Okay. You can't obviously depend on one asset class and say that, okay, my return is going to be generated from that. Asset allocation, who manages well, his portfolio is balanced well.
Okay, and what advice will you give to someone who wants to venture into real estate and advisory and financial services?
Jump into the ocean.
Okay, short and crisp. Exactly what it should be. Thank you so much, sir. This was the professional round questions. We are jumping towards our next round, which is the personal questions. So my very first question to you would be: we are just trying to get to know you better, because apart from being you being the professional person, you are also someone in a personal life which is a very different era altogether. So, outside of work, what are some of your favorite hobbies and pastimes?
I'm into yoga. Being a financial advisor, I always personally believe that nothing could be a better return investment rather than your health. If your health is not in good shape, what else matters? Okay, everything else is useless. So the best return or best investment that anyone can do is on himself. So whether it's very important for anyone to make their own personal judgments, whether it is going to be a gymming or like yoga or it is, but everyone should need to take care of their health. And that's the reason me being a financial advisor, I am into yoga.
And like, to summarize your answer and your lifestyle, it would be aptly said that health is wealth.
That's
Because,
right.
yeah.
Absolutely. If there
Okay,
is no
sir.
health, there is nothing else.
Yeah, sir. How do you unwind yourself after a very long day at the office?
I throw my mobile phone somewhere. I have
Okay.
made a policy that after 9:30, I'm not going to reach out to my mobile. Okay,
Okay.
whatever it be. Because being a financial advisor, my day starts very early, around 6:30 or 7. Okay, so that's the reason I make myself sure that after 9:30, I'm not going to reach out to my mobile. It's going to be a completely family time and me time.
Do you like to travel, sir?
A lot.
Okay,
So my
so
business is traveling. So
my
if I
next
don't,
my next question would be that what is your favorite travel destination, and if you would like to share some any memorable experience from your travels with our audience.
I like Simla a lot specifically
Okay.
because that is one place where I always feel that you are in the midst of the nature, the mountains. That is something I really cool climate, and moreover, whenever I step into Shimla, for some reason I feel the air is not polluted. It's always a breath of fresh air that I can catch. So generally, that is the destination I like a lot.
What values or principles guide you both personally and professionally?
I would say be genuine, be transparent. Nothing else is a rocket science. So obviously, unless you are not being genuine and transparent, obviously your customer is also not someone who is not going to catch you for all these things.
Yeah.
As long as you are being honest, being genuine, I think that is required for the business.
Uh, Also, like, what has been your biggest inspiration or role model in your life throughout your career and everything?
I have been following Rakesh Junjunwala a lot. A lot means, especially in the last 5 years, I have been following him a lot. And there are a lot of lessons, a lot of inspiration that I can draw out from him. Okay, in fact, there is one meeting that I actually got a chance to bump into him, and I asked him like, what is it that you do, or like, what is it that it's a recipe for your success? He just told me one thing. He, in fact, shared his own secret with me, which not many people may not be aware. He himself had a hit rate of only 65%. That is, which means he used to invest in 10 stocks, only six stocks, turned favorable. Rest four stocks did not, turn as per his expectations. And this was true till his last moment. So when people like Rakesh Junjunwala can go wrong with a few decisions, the same thing should be replicated by any ideal investor. So,
Yeah.
few decisions can work for you, few decisions cannot work for you. But that doesn't mean that you get demotivated and stop your investment journey. That one thing actually got to be thinking every time. When an ace investor like him, can go wrong with his some decisions, then no one can get this game perfect. As soon as you are able to outbeat your expectations, you should be good. But not everything is going to be in your favor. As an investor, I advise everyone to note this point and accordingly, go ahead with their investment.
Okay, sir. How do you maintain a healthy work-life balance?
Uh, that is always going to be a challenge. If someone says that he has a healthy work-life balance, that is something that I may take it with a pinch of salt. But we make an effort, as I said, to be away from the mobile phone after a particular point. That itself gives a bit of a healthy work-life balance. So I have made a policy that after 9:30, I'm not going to touch my
Yeah,
phone
yeah,
for
you
any right
mentioned that.
reason.
Yeah.
That helps me a lot.
And that can be like irrespective of the sector or professional career, whoever they are in, like this could be followed by everyone, I guess. Like no phone after 9:30. It's a great tip for the, especially for the younger generations. What motivates you to continue pursuing excellence in your career, sir?
Uh, I would be a student of the game. As long as you remain a student, I think you always feel that there are a lot of things to be learned. In fact, I take Sachin Tendulkar as an example. He once told me, like, as long as you are a student of the game, there is always a benchmark that you're going to keep on following. Because don't be content with what exactly you have reached, because there are so many things to learn. So it's better to be always a student of the game rather than thinking what is your benchmark, so on and so forth. That will only leave a person be confused. So I would prefer to keep it that way.
Great, sir. Who is your role model from the world of finance or wealth management? You mentioned Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Like, is there someone else you follow?
There are many, but obviously following everyone becomes difficult. So I always keep following Rakesh Jumbunwal.
Okay. Okay, sir. The last question for the round, sir, that if you would have to be asked to describe yourself in one line, how would you describe yourself?
I would say explorer. I like to explore too many things.
Great, sir.
That is what.
Great, sir. That is it for the personal round questions, sir. We are towards the last round, which is the rapid fire round. You just have to be very quick with the answers, and it's going to be fun. I am sure it's going to be. So let's get started. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. I'm a South Indian, so coffee is the first preference that we can't live without.
Beach vacation or a mountain retreat?
Mountain.
Morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Favorite book or author? Anything?
Rich dad, poor dad.
City life or a countryside living?
Countryside. Obviously, any kind.
Okay, sir. Cats or dogs?
None.
None. Favorite cuisine?
Thai.
Okay, interesting. One item that you cannot live without?
Mobile phone.
Dream travel destination?
Seychelles.
Okay, that is it for the rapid fire round also, sir. It has been a wonderful experience, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as we enjoyed having you on this show. I again thank you a lot. Thank you very much for giving time out of your busy schedule. We already rescheduled due to our technical glitch quite several times, but at last we are here wrapping up our conversation, and it has been an amazing session. Thank you so much for having this session with us. Thank you so much, sir. And for our audience, please stay tuned to watch this and many other interesting conversations episode on this YouTube channel, the Coffee Conversation Show. So please subscribe to this channel, like and comment your suggestions, comment your personal favorite bits from the entire show, what you like, what you didn't like. You want to add something from your side, we are here waiting for your suggestions. Please do that. Looking forward to another interesting coffee conversation with another guest speaker, and until then, stay tuned. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
John.
sir.
Thank you.